Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune for the 23rd day of May, 2019. Well, just to get something out of the way, yesterday I said Sewillow, which is the 16th rune of the Elder Futhark, had an 8 energy, which is doesn't. It has a 7. Anyway, I put that in the notes in yesterday's video, so apologies. Crone moment. Anyhow. If this is your first time, welcome. You can see I do make a few mistakes from time to time. I try to correct them in the notes, though. If I watch this before I actually publish it, so that's when I typically hear what I just said. You know, it's like, oh my God, what did I just say? Why did I say that? Anyhow, I get going, you know, and I get in a flow, and sometimes that flow takes me into fantasy. So. Or at least, you know, not being able to add 6 and 1 together and arrive at the correct answer. Well, it was about balance anyway. I mean, you can see it just in the rune itself. It's, you know, you've got, it looks like a lightning bolt in the form of like an S, and it goes as above, so below, so beautifully right there. Anyhow, let's review what we've gone on, what's gone on this week with the cards. On Monday, we had a 2-day, the 20th, so it was a 2 energy. And we basically were talking about conflict and higher self-awareness, leading to emotional fulfillment with the Ace of Cups, and balanced energy exchange with others. Yira was the another as above, so below rune. It was the rune for the day. And it just seemed like we were moving more into balanced energy exchange with others and doing it intentionally, because we want to reject out of hand this notion of separation and division, which is, you know, an illusion. You know, we don't really see the other when we see other people. We see the other side of self. You know, we're all one in the Creator. We're all aspects of the Creator, focused into form. So we couldn't be separate from one another if we tried, any more than the cells of our body are, you know, that they could survive on their own. They need to have everything else to create the body. They're part of, and that's what we all are together. So I think that we're exhausted from all of the hate and the division and all of it that's going on. And it's just ratcheting up to the point, I think, that it's just trying to reveal itself so we can all see it for how destructive it is, and so that we can all then make a different choice and realize the fallacy that we've been living under, the illusion we've been living under. And then Tuesday, a little bit more, it was a 3 energy day, a manifestation day. We were manifesting spirit. Rado was the rune, and so we're talking about soul journey, process over goal, creating emotional fulfillment with the 10 of Cups, unity with conjunctio, the geomantic rune. That was for Tuesday. And then yesterday, again, we drew the magician again. And let's see if I can bring that up a little higher. The 2 of Pentacles, 8 of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Sewillow again, Populous. 22 was the day, so that was the cosmic builder. We don't want to, 22 is a master number, so we don't want to reduce that. If you did, it'd be 4, and that'd be structure, foundation. But basically, 22 is about what we're manifesting, and it looked to me like maybe we were manifesting new wealth, possibly, but in any event, we had to make a decision. There was the 8 of Wands, which was move now, so make the decision now. Energy was right for manifestation. So you can see that there seems to be a progression to the week where we're just moving into a different mindset, and one that seems to be working out better for us. When we work in unity, when we stop struggling, you know, I mean, theoretically, the only person you're really struggling with is yourself. I mean, even though it might involve other people, really, you're just struggling with yourself. And so it's your world that you're manifesting. So everything that's happening is you. and you're the one involved in it. So you're the one manifesting your own perceptions of it at the very least. If you're not actually manifesting the experience itself, you're manifesting your own experience within it. So anyhow, we are that creative. It's just, where are we creating from? Are we creating from spirit, which is what we actually are, or our true nature, or are we creating from the subjective and illusion based ego? That's the real issue, isn't it? So let's go ahead and get started, and we'll draw our first card for the day. If you've not been to the blog over at imsteppingaside.com, it's called Stepping Aside. I did publish something yesterday, a garden update. It's long. It's got a lot of pictures of what's been going on out there. Well, not all of it, but some of it anyway. And when I get the other stuff planted this weekend, I'll do another one probably. And then when I finally get my herb garden unearthed, I'm putting bark and garden fabric down, which I swore I'd never do, but I'm doing it because I can't see anything anymore. Anyhow, I have to keep it defined. It's actually in the shape of a pentagram. The beds are in shape. It's like a bunch of different beds in the shape of a pentagram. It's really cool. I would love to see it from the air, but anyway, I have to get it cleaned out. And then I'll do one for that as well. And I'll go around and I'll show each herb that's growing. It's a really big garden. It used to be my main garden that I grew vegetables in, but then I took it. So the kids aren't home anymore, so why would I have that? So we have other garden spaces now, anyhow. But anyhow, this is the Five of Swords, and I don't. Yeah, we started the week out with this Monday. Again, we see three guys. They've had an argument. This guy's won, clearly. We see the sketchy clouds in the sky. Today's the 23rd, so it's a 5 energy. 2 and 3 is 5, not 6 or 4. But anyway, this aligns with that. So we have a day of change in communication. My husband, after I got out of the shower, I'm drying my hair, he knocks on the bathroom door. He doesn't watch direct TV on the television. Well, I mean, he does, but he mostly, when he's watching it on his own, he watches it on his iPad. So he's watching MSNBC, and apparently, the Nancy had her meeting with the Democrats this morning, and you know, we just need to watch the master class unfold. That's all I'll say. So anyhow, he's so funny though. He's he's basically trying to tell me everything she said, and everything everyone else is saying, and it was hilarious. I'm just trying to dry my hair, and he just thinks it's wonderful. He's laughing, he's happy. Now he's out mowing in the garden area, so he's mowing the grass around that. So anyhow, so there seems to be a change in communication. He's stamping his feet, taking his toys, and going home. So this is going to be fun to watch, I think, isn't it? So we have a little change in communication here today. We've got three guys. One's won. He's picking up the spoils, the swords. The other two have their back to him. One's holding his head. You got choppy seas behind them. Things are not good. And clearly one is the victor in this drama triangle we also have going here. So this is not just, 5 swords we're looking at. We're looking at 3 guys, which is a bit of a drama triangle. And I think that's what we've got. So maybe a change in communication. Maybe not for the better. Maybe still in flux. We'll see. Let's do another card. Well, we have the Empress. I guess it's going to be one of those readings. A card of Venus. You see the Venus on her shield, the glyph for Venus. She's sitting in a lovely throne, I suppose. She's got her scepter there. She's got the crown of stars. Card of balance, really. You've got two levels there. You see the trees in the distance, the grain, the ripened grain on the ground there below her feet. This is a card of fertility. You have the Fool, which begins, that's the card 0. So you have undeveloped potential. Then you have the Magician, which is manifesting, alchemical manifestation, basically. So our focusing, bringing all the energies together to focus into form and to focus, after the Fool takes the leap into form, into the abyss, then you have the Magician coming along to congeal them all together and to create the persona, right? You have the outward persona. You have the High Priestess next creating the inward persona. And then you have, so there's your as above, so below, beginning with below, then above. I consider the High Priestess more a card of spirit. And then we come to the Empress, where she is manifesting all of that into form. And but what we also have here is a powerful woman, a goddess presence, if you will. I said to my husband, I said, you're witnessing the return of the goddess, issuing a master class to everyone who needs it. She's elegant, she's gracious, she's about abundance. She's about success and beauty and love and happiness. She's the triple goddess, it's a 3 energy. So it aligns with the 3 guys in this, except that, she's the mother aspect. She's going to come in and she's going to say, wait a minute, guys. For all we know, these could be her boys. They're having an altercation. I have 2 boys, so I understand what that's like. They didn't always get along. And it could be quite brutal, both emotionally and physically. We were martial artists, are martial artists. And so that just sort of brings a new dimension to interactions as well as parenting. I'll tell you a quick story. My kids are 2 years, 2.5 months apart. The younger one, now they were homeschooling at this time, and I believe, yeah, they were, and so they were in the backyard, and I was watching them out the window. I mean, they weren't little, so they were, I don't know, my oldest probably. Well, maybe they were still in school. I don't know. He might have been 7th grade, 8th grade, something like that. And then his brother would have been. I pulled him out when the oldest was finished 7th and the youngest finished 4th. So somewhere in there. Anyway, they're in the backyard, and the oldest is being bothered by the youngest. And I mean, the youngest could pester pretty well and could push his brother's buttons. And I looked out the window just in time to see my oldest execute the most beautiful back kick, rear thrust kick that you've ever seen. And this boy, when he started training, he was 4. He hadn't turned 5 yet, and he had a perfect back thrust kick, rear thrust kick back then. Okay, so he's a natural, and so he is quite a bit older. Anyway, he sent his brother flying through the air. Oh, maybe 6, 8 feet. Now, the black belt in me is like, nice kick, but the mom in me had to, punish. And so they both came in and they both got some time out. one for being a pest and the other for using his kempo for to solve problems that didn't need solving that way. And I did tell him nice kick though as I sent him to his room. I stuck my head. I said, yeah, but nice kick, you know. So, well, it was. I mean, you know, I couldn't let that go. That's what I think of when I see the Five of Swords. I actually think of that moment. It's kind of fascinating what's going on right now, and to see the Empress show up, it's like, okay, Mama's here or Grandma's here. Let's do another card. Justice, card 11, master number for illumination. We see Lady Justice. Although it really does look like a guy. But anyway, we see the pillars representing balance. We see an as above, so below. Focus here again. The sword is an air element. Excuse me. The sword is an air element depicting intellect. It also depicts justice and reason, might for right, spiritual warrior within. In the other hand, she has the scales, so the scales of justice. Red for power, yellow for enlightenment. But you'll notice that the sword is pointed to spirit. And what we have here, there has to be a change in how we interact, okay? It can't be this, all right? So whatever's happening in our lives at this moment, whether it's, you know, what we're watching on television this morning, or and we're hearing about, or this is happening in our personal lives, you know, we're looking at some change that needs to happen. Five of Swords describes a situation where communication is broken down, clearly, and one appears to be victorious, but really, what have you gained? There has to be a way, you know, when he came out into the Rose Garden yesterday to tell everybody that the meeting was off, that he walked out of the meeting, you'll note that he came straight out of the meeting there. And the podium had been set up for some time, I guess. And so all of the sign that was there on the podium, that was put there already. So he never intended to stay at that meeting, and likely ever. So that was a setup basically yesterday, so he could come out and do this and cry the blues and have the pity party out front of everyone. But the problem is, nothing is happening in the country that's positive, that's going to be for the people. And so what we can draw from that, just in terms of our own personal lives, we have to have, and typically, and I've said this before, probably any guys watching this probably just cringe when I do, but if you look at least my own experience in life, as strong as the male figure in the family is, as strong as the dad, if you have a dad in the family, if it's a mother and father, if it's not, you're going to have one individual. If you've got two dads or two moms, you're going to likely have one person that maybe is a little stronger than the other. And it doesn't have to be, if it's a dad and mom, it doesn't have to be the dad, it could be the mom. You're always, in other words, you're going to, in any type of a pairing or even a group setting, a leader is going to emerge, okay? Typically, the one with the most vision on balance is going to be a woman. And the reason for that is because she's a mother. Whether she has children or not, she still has that ability to see the bigger picture. Now, it doesn't mean that men can't do that. I know plenty of men who do. I'm just saying that from my own experience, it seems like women tend to be the voice of reason. I have a neighbor, some neighbors who he's the one that very boisterous, very, in your face and, very opinionated and all of that. But his wife is the voice of reason. And she's the one that will come in and corral him. Say, well, now, wait a minute, wait a minute. So it's that kind of thing that I'm talking about. All right. The woman is the calming influence at times. Sometimes it's the other way around, But in terms of traditional roles, or traditional, not even roles, but just the way we express ourselves, women have to calm the child, right? They have to calm the crying baby. They become the source of balance, in other words. And so enter the Empress. As a 3, we're talking mind, body, spirit, balance, okay, and alignment. And the expression of love and beauty and harmony and joy. And then we come to justice and balance and doing the right thing. If you're unable to see the bigger picture, which is happening here, see, the guy in front here doesn't understand the damage that he's doing. If he can't see the bigger picture and understand that the pettiness has to go away, the problem when you have to chase your own behavior in order to keep a lid on it, just so no one knows about it, then that's all you're doing. There's no time to actually do the work that benefits the greater group you're involved with, whether it's the family or a job or the country or whatever. There's no time for that because you're always looking over your shoulder at who's coming after you. and not because there's nothing to come after, but because there's so much to go after him about. That's what you're going to find out. All you got to do is read volume 2 of the Mueller report, even, the redacted version. It still tells you everything you need to know. So you can struggle all you want to. But if you're just struggling to keep your secret, well, the Empress is going to come along and say, not so fast, buddy. No, we're going to live in justice. We're going to get things done. We're going to do the work that we're supposed to be doing. We're going to think about the family. We're not going to have you out there doing things that harm the family. We're not going that get you fired or get us sued or whatever, right? You're not going to go out drinking at the bar and spending all our money so that we can't pay the rent and the kids can't have any food, right? That's what this is. A change needs to happen. A change needs to happen because, we have a situation that they're all trying to figure out how they're going to deal with it, and the Empress is governing that process. But it's a process if that's what this is about. Indeed, if it's about, what's happening in our country, whatever this decision is that's going to go forward has to be made in justice. It has to be made in balance. It has to be made with the bigger picture involved. Let's do a rune. And I think that I'm comfortable with the order here. I don't think I'm going to move them around. Well, here we have Yira again, and we had that on Tuesday. Again, balanced energy exchange. It means the year, cycles, energy moving through the body. It's for growth and transformation, which is what we need right now, don't we? Let's see, I think it's the 12th rune, isn't it? Yeah, it's the 12th rune, so it's a 3 energy, and so it aligns really well with the Empress, doesn't it? Of manifestation and mind, body, spirit alignment, transformation, fertility, But the Empress, you know, she sets the standard, doesn't she? And the standard is all about love. It isn't about this. So we need to have a change. This is not saying that we've changed into this, although we have. It's saying that we need to change away from it. That's what the 5 is all about there. But let's do a geomancy rune. Now, again, I'll just tell you, you can do this a variety of ways. The idea is that if you have like a bunch of peas in your hand or little pebbles in your hand, and you throw them, and you know you throw them, and it results in an odd number of stones or peas or objects, then it results in the number a single dot. If you throw them and there's an even number, it results in 2 dots. So I didn't want to do that. So I did sticks, I did staves, like ogham staves, and then I also did runes, because I couldn't get staves to stay. I put 1 on one side and 2 on the other, and I couldn't get them to stay. They were rolling. So I just did runes, and I have, they're also done in an order: fire, air, water, and earth. And ultimately, you're going to have a glyph that looks like this, a 4-level glyph. So anyway, there's 16 geomantic runes. I don't think I've ever told you that. And you can check out a reading I do, a monthly reading I do the beginning of each month. I do a monthly tarot reading, and I also do a monthly geomancy. So you can check that out at that time, or you can go back and look at May's and see what this actually is all about. But anyway, I'm just going to do one and create one glyph and see what it has to say. And I'm going to use my magnifying glass so I can see the element on it. I have the element on the back side. So I've got earth, I've got fire, there's water and air. Okay, so this one, is it Tristitia or is it? No, it's Laetitia. Okay. Tristitia and Laetitia, or Tristitia, however you want to say it. There's basically, well, in a sense, it's like the I Ching. There's essentially 8, but then they reverse, and so you get 16. And Tristitia or Trististia is loss. Laetitia or Laetitia is, they just brought a winter storm warning up. Anyhow, then Tristitia, or rather Laetitia, is about joy, and that's what we drew today. And I'll draw it out for you so you can see what it looks like. We've got a single active dot, a single dot as an active principle at the top, followed by 3 dual dots. That means joy. So I think you never know with the geomancy runes. They can, Rubius or Carcer will show up or something, and holy evil, or Kata Draconis or something will show up, and it's totally evil. But anyway, this is kind of interesting. I really think that we see we've got some conflict that's not working, and you got one guy that's trying to cause some trouble here that really doesn't need to happen. When you run for office with so many skeletons in your closet, I think that you invite this, don't you? Don't be surprised if people want to know what's in those closets. How many skeletons they are, and what they are, and who you owe money to, and who you're beholden to, and who you're selling out the country to. You see, that's what you have to worry about. When you're beholden to people like this, who have funded your projects, because you can't get funding any other legal way, then you basically have a situation where those countries can then blackmail that person. It's just ripe for it. It's a guarantee that it's going to happen. You're going to see a lot of quid pro quo to benefit these countries that have helped him along the way. If you have somebody like that in office, it's going to be a mess no matter what happens. especially if he got there on the basis of a lie. I think it's pretty fair to say that there's nothing about him that's even real. He's a brand. That's all he is. He's a crafted brand. The real guy is nothing like what he says he is. So I don't know. I think that the Empress is telling us that Goddess has got to come back here and put her foot down and say, look, we're going to think about everyone here. We're going to think about the bigger picture. We're going to do what is best for this country, for the citizens of this country. We're going to, first and foremost, try to get as much done on behalf of the American people as we can. But at the same time, we can't ignore what he's doing. And which brings me to the one thing that I wanted to say. I debated talking about this, but now that Memorial Day is upon us, the notion of pardoning war criminals. My husband is a Vietnam veteran, and he served his country honorably discharged. And to watch what this guy's going to do, or says he's going to do, even one that hasn't even been to court yet. Our military justice system, say what you want to about it, but it does pretty well. They do their jobs. And it's not that, travesties can't happen, because they happen in any judicial system, obviously. But for this to go on, for this to happen, should it happen, should he go through with it, is a stain on our country that we won't survive. These are war crimes, folks, that these guys were convicted of, or are going to be convicted of, or will possibly be convicted of. The Navy SEAL in question, I read what he did. I read what everyone tried to do to stop him. I read how they were threatened by superiors to keep their mouths shut. See, we can't have that. If these war criminals are pardoned, he will spit in the face of every soldier, every veteran, every family, every Gold Star family, from now until eternity. Everyone that's been a victim of anyone who's done something like this in the military, our reputation has already been compromised in the world because of this man. But to do this, it sends a signal that we can't be trusted. We can't be trusted to have any integrity or to believe in the rule of law. And that's where justice comes in. Maybe we need the heavy hand of Goddess here to stop this, because I'm telling you, and my husband says the same thing, and I'm reading other former military veterans, former officers. They're all up in arms about this. This will make every soldier unsafe. This will make every American unsafe. Traveling abroad, oh no, don't want to do that. It's too risky now. Think about it. Think about just this one thing. To pardon someone who has done something so heinous while in service to our country. You can't do that. You have to let the legal system do its thing, and you have to let the punishment be what it is. It is the only way that we can, we can't fix what they did, but at least we can stand up against it. And now he just wants to throw all that away. Why? So that, why on earth would anyone want to endear themselves to the lowest common denominator in people? Why? Because he has so much to lose. And he needs people who don't have integrity, who don't have a moral compass to defend him, because they're the only ones at that point who will. And it'll be through violence and anything else they can think of. So whatever you can do to cast your intention to pray, to do whatever you can do to send the intention that this not happen. Please do it. Veterans are distraught by this. Veterans who serve their country honorably and are shamed by the actions of these other people. This isn't right. And so let's focus our intention that it not happen. If you perform witchcraft, do whatever you can to bind this man, to bind his behavior. We can't allow this to happen. He cannot do this. So maybe the final card of justice is about that. We need to invoke justice here, not tell everybody, oh, that's okay. It's okay. It's like giving Alex Acosta the Secretary of Labor position after he gave Jeffrey Epstein, his good friend, the convicted pedophile, right? The sex trafficker guy. He gave him a sweetheart deal. He's being investigated for it now. And then he's rewarded Jeffrey Epstein's good friend, the president rewards him with a cabinet position. This is where we're at, guys. This is where we're at. Now he wants to pardon war criminals? Really? Great. Great. Well, in any event, that's what I'll be doing this weekend, trying to focus my intention that this not happen, if only to try to help my husband get through it. Memorial Day weekend is special, it's special. It isn't for this. So if you have a veteran husband like I do, who's having a difficult time coping with this, just tell him he's not alone. Or you have a veteran wife who's livid about this, tell her she's not alone. They likely know it though. So in any event, make it a joyful weekend otherwise. Maybe we'll get lucky and someone will lock him in a room and not let him get to his phone so he can tweet these things out. Keep him away from pens and portfolios with things with executive orders in them. Anyhow, have a good weekend. We'll see you on, well, I guess maybe I won't see you Monday because that's Memorial Day. Maybe I will. We'll see. Maybe I'll be back on Monday. If not, I'll see you Tuesday. Yeah, we'll see how Monday goes. Maybe we'll do one since it'll be a special veteran edition. Anyhow, especially if he goes and does what he says he's going to do. So maybe we do need to do one. So anyhow, I'll think about it. I'll see what my husband wants to do. So anyhow, I'll either see you Monday or I will see you Tuesday. So be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.